going to use the Beauty of Tomorrow and the beautiful dies. I've taken the sentiment from Welcoming Woods. I can't wait to use this. I did see Jackie Williams had done a video using this stamp, which looks gorgeous, but I'm going to use the Good Luck on Your New Adventure from here. And then this was a Celebration Host gift, and I'm going to use this. There is magic in every beginning. So I've been asked to do some cards for my neighbour who builds houses, and she wants to use my cards in her welcoming packs to her new people, so that'd be cool. This host set now is closed, I think. Don't quote me though, because I never quite get it right. We're going to use Rich Raspberry and Cinnamon Cider. So this morning I had a pile of this. Lots of interesting things. I had all these squares from something. I had these long bits from something. I had loads of strips like this. I had quite a bit of offcuts of different sizes on the Very Vanilla. So my process was to choose the colours. So the colours I chose were Rich Raspberry, and I've done everything in Very Vanilla, and then I chose the offcuts and I mounted them. So that one was a square. This one I did the Cinnamon Cider as the background, and I chose 2 strips, and I've used different punches, so I've no idea what these punches are, but they are in the annual catalogue. Somebody's sure to know, but this one is one of my favourites. So I did 2 cards of everything, and then I went to a Very Vanilla cardstock. I've used the embossing folder that comes with it, which is the back, I believe, and then I've used Early Espresso bases on these. So these are the squares put together, and these are the squares put together. So as you can see, I've done some preparation for the live because we only have half an hour, and so these were the squares which I've put onto a square Early Espresso, and this is the soft suede ribbon, which I love because it's so easy to tie a bow. So as you can see, I've done some preparation. So there's 2 of each card. So what I'm going to show you is I've actually did some preparation beforehand, and then we're going to do some stuff together. So I've got 2 of each, so I'm going to finish the second one off camera, but this one I just wanted to show you the bits and pieces that I did before I put this one together. I don't know if you can see on the back of this, I've actually used one of the stems on the back here, which is the writing, and it actually does say the changing of leaves reminds us that new wonders are just around the corner. So what I've done is I've taken the Cinnamon Cider. I'm just making sure you can see. Yes, you can see. Sorry, there's a delay. So these are the rubber foams, so I don't need to use the stamping mat. So I'm just going to get a piece of paper here, and what I've done here is I've actually stamped off to go on, and in no particular order I've just stamped across, and I've stamped over as well the words on some, and then all of a sudden, sorry, going off camera, all of a sudden you get a background that you can then mount on the Cinnamon Cider, which then goes on the cardstock, which is Rich Raspberry. You then mount the DSP, which this side is just purple, but this has got the owls on it, and then it's got the gold shimmer. So I'm going to come up. Beautiful. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Good Luck, and using my cinnamon cider, which I have here, I'm going to get my stamp mat, because this is a clear stamp, and I'm going to get my head in here, stamp on here, so I let it 1, 2, 3, gives the ink time to get in. Beautiful. Clean it off. I'm going to close that up before I get my fingers in it. Move that out the way. Scissors. So what I do here is I'm going to cut this one in half. So these are punched out with the same punch, and then put a bit of tape on the back. Oh, I knew it was going to run out while I was on camera. I'll have to use glue. And then stick the labels together. And it just gives you a nice border on there, as you can see. So I'm going to take my glue now to save my tape runner, and just stick these down. This is Tombow in a, I wish I had my Tombow actually, because this is a bit fine for this. The Tombow with the thicker end is quite good. And what Tombow allows you to do, if I use the tape runner, I might have got it crooked, which happens. Whereas using the liquid glue, you've got a bit of wiggle room. So the inside, I'm going to stamp the inside with the bird in the cinnamon cider. I always like to put something on the inside. Oh, and I love the detail on that bird. So I wasn't speaking because I need to concentrate. And then we put that in there. Oh, there we go, beautiful. So we've got now a really quite nice solid base. Now this I'm going to actually mount up, like so. Because I can't, I'm actually going to put this over to one side so it's sort of off a bit. This suite has the most incredible die that I absolutely adore. Whenever I've got a scrap piece of paper, I just cut this out, and then I've got lots of bits of it lying around. And so what I did with this card, this is one I've done, so I will stick all that together off camera. What I did with this is I cut a bit off. And what I thought I'd do is with a glue dot, because you want it to give you some texture, so you don't want to glue it all down. You just want to make sure it doesn't fall off the card. So that didn't actually take. Here we go, it's working. So what I do is I use glue dots just to stick down a couple of the leaves so it doesn't fall off. So you've got some movement, which will give you some depth. Taking the sentiment, which will raise, and I don't know if you noticed that, I put the dimensional across where it's joined just to give it that extra bit of support. And we put this in here. So see, you've got this nice little bit of movement. And then in this suite, you also get these little leaves. So you get 3 of these, which makes things really easy, because then you can cut 3 at a time, but you only get 1 of those. So I'm also going to use a glue dot to put these down. And what I thought, it would just add a little bit of extra something, just to bring the pattern of the white out. Here we go. And I wanted to cover this little bit here. So I'm going to stay on for the next card, and then what I might do is, because time probably isn't is a bit longer, I will possibly finish the last card off. So I'm just reaching, oh, excuse me for reaching. Oh, I like that. And these are my favourites, and these I love. So, and I don't know about you, but you see a card and you go, oh, what's that bling? And then you go, oh, I haven't got that one. But for the last 6 months, I've just been making sure that I order out the catalogue. And I'm just going to go with this. And just get me some more bling. And what I've noticed is now that I've got everything, I'm able to order some extras. And there are certain packs that I use a lot. And there are certain packs that just don't last 5 minutes. And I'm doing my little triangle. And there you have it. And this was literally a scrap of paper. I had some scrap cinnamon cider. The punch bits were, when I use mats, I do some punching. So these are from when I'm doing scrapbooking and I put mats down, I'll punch something out. So as you can see, the cinnamon cider's in there. I've got pool party and evening evergreen. There we go. With a nice inside. I'm just going to move this out of the way. So these ones, they're the squares that were left over. And I chose to, this was, I think at the weekend we did a square one. So that's where that idea came from. And then I thought I'd do a skinny one. And this was left over from a kit that I did. And I'm going to put that there. But when I noticed, I don't see it. So I'm just going to move everything around and bring in my brush, because what I thought I'd do is I'd do some blending on the end just to give it some oomph. So I just tap off my excess, and I'm just going to go around the edges because I still want to keep the cream. I'll come in this side. Cream, vanilla. And there we go. That's all I want to do with that. And I always put the top on my rich raspberry because it's so juicy that I tend to get it everywhere. See, got it on my nail. Oh, we're good. Right. So this one, bit straightforward. Put this back to get the dry emboss down. Over the top. I was going to make it the same height, but I decided to have a border all around it. This bit I'm going to put on dimensionals. So my process of this is, what I do is I get my scraps, I get the colours that coordinate with the scraps, and those can be found on the back of the DSP. They give you the nice coordinating colours, or in your catalogue. I then sort of try different things with different colours. Would have been helpful if I put that down first. Here we go. Oh, lucky. Just going to put a bit of this in there. And then once I've chosen the colours to coordinate, I then dry fit everything, see where it all goes, see what I like, see what I don't like. I usually check with Jane, my wife, as some of you know, and say to her, oh, what do you like, what don't you like? And she'll go, oh, I love that. So I know I'm on the right track because she's really good with colours. I'm just going to put a glue dot just here because you want to make sure that things are sort of secure, but not too secure. Now I really like that, so I can really see that now. Happy with that. And then what I've done is I had a piece of scrap pieces left. No, I think that was for that one. See, I've got that one on the go. This time I'm going to stamp the sentiment in the rich raspberry, and I'm going to use the flower stamp for the inside. So I'll get that out and do all my stamping at once. Cool. I always tend to put things off in the corner because I don't know about you, but when I do a card I tend to write in it, and my writing's quite big and scruffy. So, and this one, this is such a cool sentiment. There is magic in every beginning. Oh, not bad, it's straight. I thought it wasn't straight, but it was a paper. Cool. Again, put that. Can you see how juicy that is? Now that is one of the first colours I bought 3 years ago, and it's still giving. Never had to re-ink it. So what I'm going to do now is taking my faithful thing, I'm going to chop this down. The beauty of scraps. And then what I do is I actually glue this down to my scrap before I cut, because then I know it's going to be straight. And hope that my scrap is straight. Oh, too thick. Just a bit thick. Perfect. Right, put that away and put this away. I have a little box to the side that I give to the local kindy. Perfect. Right, so again, put this on dimensionals. Oh, there we go. And you know what I'm thinking for bling? To do my other bling. Oh, here. No. No. Ooh. I might go for the, I think that's called brass. I think it's gold. I think it's gold. Oh, I don't know. Brush metals. I'm going to go for the bronze look, and I'm actually going to put a big one and then 2 small ones. And there we go. Going to bring it up. Oh, sorry, go this way. Just need to stick this one down. I don't know if you all know that the white cardstock is on back order. So this is a brilliant idea to save some of your white cardstock to use your very vanilla. And let's do the last design. So again, it's getting really messy around here. With the sentiment, we just cut the one in half. I am going to do another good luck, and I'm going to use the rich raspberry for this too. So there we go. Oh, I forgot to put my, well, it came out all right, my stamping mat underneath that. Oh, rich raspberry everywhere. So that's done, ready to go. And what I'm going to do here is put these down like this. Take my rich raspberry and my flower stamp, bring in my scrap. Although my desk looks terrible, and I'm going to just stamp off and put some flowers down. And again, this just brings a bit of texture in. Go from the top. can't do it. How can I do it? There. Okay. There we go. No, don't like it. I'm going to do it again. The beauty of two sides. And I'm just going to put two in. Like so. Oh no! Going to use my inside piece. No, that'll be different size. I know. We'll just cover it up, eh? Just like that. Oh, done. Cool. And one on the inside. In full ink. There we go. I don't think it liked being secondary stamping. Okay. So that can go in my inside. I always do layers on my cards now when I've discovered this thing that I say to myself, paper is cheap. When you think of how much a pack of paper costs to how much a stamp set costs, an ink block costs and the bling costs, paper is absolutely relatively cheap. List a layer. Right. So layering your cards just makes them look, I don't know, 1,000 times better. When you see some of those cheapy cards that you see for sale and they're just a piece of paper that's been printed, and then you see one of the cards that we make in classes and there's lots of layers, just makes a huge difference. So I've just put some stamping down, and these literally I haven't cut. They were just pieces of scrap. Come on up. So I'm definitely going to have to get my glue rubber out. Just take the worst off. There we go. And make sure this is up the right way, because the birds do actually go a certain way. And bring that into there. There we go. And we take our sentiment. It's going to be interesting using glue. We'll put our bases on, like so. There we go. And then some dimensionals, and I'm thinking linen thread. I know, let's go for it. Linen thread, got to be done. And I'm thinking over here, so I'm going to do the loop. Again, I've put everything so flat that this will just give it a bit of texture across the sentiment. And that ink, I'm going to have to redo that. That ink is so squidgy still that it's smudged as I've picked it up. But that's okay. I will do that sentiment and pop it on top. And then take my ribbon. Ooh. Sorry, not talking, concentrating on ribbon tying. Why won't that? There we go, that's gone better. Right, glue dot, and just roll your glue dots. So it's not the big thick glue. And I'm going to just pop this down here for now. Actually, yeah, that's cool. And put another one on. So, disappointingly, I'm going to need to sort out that. But that is that card. The faceted gem. Because they've got shimmer in them. And they pick up the cinnamon cider colour. There we go. Ooh, the inside. Okay.